Hi, welcome. So here at Blueprint Studios, we like to build things, universes, our own self-character, video game concepts, and etc. Well, today we are going to be starting a new series on how I would have made it. The series where I take films and give suggestions on how to make it better. In today's video, we will be discussing Back to the Future Part 2. One of the worst films I've ever seen. Why does it need fixed? Because Back to the Future is one of the greatest films of all time, and Part 2 comes to dump on the trilogy. Back to the Future Part 2 is often the most divisive of the trilogy. Okay, I know some like this film, and if you do, that's okay. Some people love its complexity and future retro aesthetics, while others like me find it chaotic, convoluted, and simply lacking the heart of the first film. Here is how it could have been improved. Point 1. Keep the focus on the future. The movie starts in 2015, but quickly ditches that setting in favor of a dystopian 1985 and a return to 1955, essentially retreading the original. The improvement that could have been made: fully explore 2015. Make that the core of the story. There's rich material in Marty dealing with his future life. His failed music career, his broken family, his kids. Let him actively try to change things in 2015. Instead of bouncing around time, more emotional stakes equals a better movie. Point 2. Streamline the plot. It's structurally messy. There's time travel within time travel. Plot lines that intersect in confusing ways and a lot of exposition. The improvement that could have been made: keep the narrative tighter. Pick one major conflict. Maybe Biff stealing the sports almanac and corrupting the timeline. And build around that. Reduce the amount of backtracking and overlapping scenes with the original movie. Instead of piling on twists, give the plot more room to breathe. Point 3. Make Marty active, not passive. Marty spends most of the movie reacting to Doc or Biff's actions, with little personal growth. The improvement that could have been made: let Marty drive the story emotionally. For example, his fear of being a nobody could motivate his choices. But we don't really feel it until Part 3. Develop that arc here, with the almanac plot serving as a metaphor for his desire to take shortcuts to success. Point 4. Use Jennifer or leave her out. Jennifer is knocked out for most of the movie. She's either unconscious or shoved into a closet. The improvement to be made: either make her part of the plot, helping Marty in 2015 or struggling with her own future, or just don't bring her. Having her around just to be discarded feels lazy. Point 5. Tone down the darkness. The dystopian 1985 is so bleak it feels like it belongs in a different movie. The improvement to be made: keep it menacing, but with more wit or emotional depth. The best of Back to the Future balances tension with charm. Make Biffco a satirical warning, not a grim crime world. And a bonus thought: a stronger ending cliffhanger could have been Doc is lost somewhere else. Not just in the Old West, but in a timeline Marty doesn't recognize. That builds anticipation without immediately undercutting the impact with a trailer for Part 3. But the main problem: they should have fired Bob Gale. He made the film illegally and should be punished accordingly.
And that then someone like Bob Gale goes and lies about it and tries to justify his illegal action by saying things that I didn't do.
Right.
to make it justified as though it was right for him to do something which is illegal. I did not do anything illegal. Bob Gale did something illegal.
Right.
Other people did as well. The reason I say him is because he's the one that continues to promote it. Nobody else does. I'm sorry to get so
No,
aggravated.
of course, I understand.
But,
Well,
but it's
I'd be
it's
getting
endlessly
aggravated too.
frustrating.
It makes sense. I know. I think the way that you lay it out there.
And that people believe him.
Right.
People should be. Any time in the future, if anybody's listening to this that has an interview with Bob Gale, they need to press him on the fact that he did something illegal.
Yeah.
They shouldn't promote it and say, "Oh yeah, Crispin's such a weirdo. Crispin's so whatever. Oh yeah, he." I was a professional on that film.
Yeah.
And the definition of non-professional, more than non-professional, is to do something illegal. That's what Bob Gale did. You know, he doesn't work in the industry anymore,
Right.
except for doing things
Because he still
like
has that-
talking about Back
Right.
to the Future. But
Karma's-
yeah, I don't love talking about it, but I cannot help it because it is so aggravating.
Yeah, I get it.
The way the film treated Crispin Glover was not right. It was illegal, and I'll never forget that. But that takes care of this. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please go leave a like, and please go subscribe to the channel because it would really help me out a lot. And with that, this is what I would do. What about you?